When the Broncos went down for Jacksonville was that they scored a touchdown. Yeah, and it took them 4 downs to get it in there. Then they missed the extra point. The only problem is when Jacksonville's had the ball 3 different times, they don't even have a first down or even close to a first down.
Change at tight end for Denver as number 86, Byron Chamberlain, comes in. They feel he's going to be a very good player. Came on in the last couple of games. Dana Hall has returned for Jacksonville. 2nd and 9.
For 2 here. I think I'll just call Elway Rocket Man. I mean, that ball was a rocket. The defensive secondary had no chance, Phil.
Well, we always say, Paul, you can't stop a perfect throw. That was a perfect throw.
Now, we mentioned that he's spreading it around. That was his 6th completion, his 6th different receiver. And Shannon Sharpe has the touchdown. He had 10 during the regular season. And now, because of the blocked extra point on their first score, they'll go for 2. From the shotgun with Craver and Davis, bookending Elway. And sending Craver in motion. Incomplete. Sharpe was open. Handcuffed by the throw, it appeared. So 12-0 the score here in Denver.
John is upset. I don't know whether it's with himself or with Sharpe, but he's upset.
Well, I think he's upset with himself. He threw it a little behind Shannon Sharpe. But looking at the touchdown, Denver spreads the field. Watch Shannon Sharpe. He comes in motion. They leave the middle of the field open. Denver thought they could take advantage of deep down the middle of the field. And look at Shannon Sharpe. The speed for a tight end. People look at it and they say tight end, but they just don't realize how fast he can get down there and make things happen.
Well, they got a linebacker that tries to help out on him. Hardy right there. He's got him short, and then Long never gets there, so the safety doesn't get over to help out, and it's touchdown. But it's a perfect throw, and you're right. How do you defeat the perfect throw?
So Elway takes his team 64 yards in 7 plays, and Shannon Sharpe 18 yards on the touchdown. Elway was 4 for 4 on the drive.
There was an interesting graphic you had at the beginning of the show, Phil. They're the #1 team in the National Football League in the first quarter in scoring.
Paul, we've heard it before. Everybody comes in here and plays the Broncos. They say the same thing. It's like the 49ers used to be years ago. We got to stop them early because they get off such a great start. And if we can play with them. Well, it's a great theory. They just can't make it work. You can't stop them early in the football game.
So Jacksonville's going to have to muster some offense. As Paul pointed out, 3 possessions, 3 and out, and they haven't held the ball for more than a minute 57 on all 3 possessions. Bucky Brooks at the goal line. Brooks only to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. Randy Hilliard in on the tackle as Brunell takes the field for the 4th time.
Let's take a look at Shannon Sharpe with the 2-point conversion. Does a good job. Fakes outside, and look at that opening. The ball, it's really a good throw. Shannon Sharpe, you're an all-pro. You got to make those tough catches. And Elway, hey, he wants it all.
He does.
He was excited this week during practice, meeting with us, and you can tell all of it was worth it because he prepared well, and he's got off to a good start today.
Just 23 seconds left in this opening quarter. Brunell almost picked off by Alan Aldridge, the middle linebacker, who was intended for Keenan McCardell.
Boy, I tell you, Alan Aldridge, you talk about reading a quarterback's eyes, Dick, and getting into the play. All he did was just sit there, read Brunell, look at him. You see 57, he's looking at the quarterback's eyes, gets himself in a perfect position.
We say it all the time, but that's another good example. Denver, the change in the team. Speed. Last year, they would not have gotten there to break that pass up. You see it every game with this team.
All 3 linebackers run the 40 and 4.6 or better. 3 tight ends this time. A load to the right, and then they give it to Means, but Means tripped up as he gets to the 25-yard line on the final play of this opening quarter. It'll be Jacksonville 3rd down and about 6 when we go to the 2nd. So this opening 15 minutes, has been all on the side of the Denver Broncos. A few Jaguar fans with cherry seat locations.
Yeah, look where these people are. They're up in the corner of the end zone directly into the sun. Well, they haven't even seen the first quarter yet.
Hey, they're the enemy. You know, the enemy. Why treat them good? Let them know. This is our place. We're going to give you the worst seats in the house.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And they're happy to be here.
Jimmy Smith is the top third down receiver in the league this year. 25 first downs. He had a total of 83 catches from Jackson State. And they let Andre Rison go. He really, as Tom Coughlin said, was torrid. 3rd and 6. And it is to Smith. He steps out of bounds with a first down.
How nice of you to set that up for him, Dickie.
Well, the one thing Jimmy Smith has, speed and size. You can see him on the outside. And look at the respects he gets. Good job of selling the route up the field. Makes Ray Crockett turn. That makes it an easy throw for Mark Brunell.
11 yards and the first down for the Jaguars. Trailing 12-0 as we start this second quarter. Tommy Roy, our producer. John Gonzalez, our director from Denver, as Nathan Means sees a hole running through tackles to the Denver 46-yard line. And that'll get the beat pulsing a bit higher in Jacksonville.
What a great block at the line of scrimmage by Brown and Baselli, the tackle and the tight end. Right here, watch this on Alfred Williams. They just take him and kick him to the outside, seal it off. Natron Means goes inside. That's a hole, folks.
18-yard production for Means. Only 5'10" and 240 pounds. First time Jacksonville in Denver territory. Brunell, secondary receiver, is the tight end Pete Mitchell, and Mitchell is to the 39. Alan Aldridge, the tackler, along with John Mobley.
Good job by the Jacksonville offensive line. Watch Tony Baselli on the outside. Did such a wonderful job last week against Bruce Smith. And look at that job against Alfred Williams. You see the strength of Tony Baselli. And look at him last week against Bruce Smith.
He is so good with his hands, Phil. He gets his hands extended. The man is 6'7", 325. When he gets his hands on you, there's not much you can do. But remember, Alfred Williams' role today is to get upfield to the outside.
They give to Means, and Means fights his way to the 35-yard line, where it'll be another first down for the Jaguars. And Baselli, along with all of his talents, and Coughlin raving about his workout and the great feet he has along with those hands, only allowed 3 sacks this year. Chad Brown got him for 1, but he shut out some pretty good players. Brock, O'Neal, Johnson, Pleasant, Michael McCrary also. Chad Brown had a couple. Only 3 sacks allowed all year. James Stewart gives Natron Means a breather, and on first down takes it to the 30-yard line. Baselli from Southern California is the second player picked a year ago, and the highest lineman pick since Tony Mandarich by Green Bay. 17 games played, only 3 sacks allowed. How good is that, Phil Simms?
Well, that's better than good. That's real good. But the important thing is, too, why it's so good, Dick, he's blocking for a running quarterback, which usually drives the sack stats up, against these offensive linemen.
Now, 47 other sacks went to teammates, but only 3 charged to Baselli. Throw and a good catch by Pete Mitchell, the tight end from Boston College, but he doesn't get anything out of it. Only a yard to the 29. Well covered by Tyrone Braxton.
There's a guy. Let's just mention one more time. We did it a few weeks ago. Tyrone Braxton. I mean, there's just no reason why this man is not in the Pro Bowl. It's a shame. He tied the National Football League with 9 interceptions. And look what Tyrone Braxton here. Here's a catch of the tight end Mitchell, and watch what he gets after it. 1 yard. Tyrone Braxton.
And at 185, to call him a strong safety is a misnomer. He laughs about it. Steve Atwater's 217. He's the 3 safety. On 3rd and 4. Brunell protected well, guns it in, complete to Mitchell. Right through his hands, and he may have been looking right into the sun.
I think he was, because Pete Mitchell, he does not drop many passes, and that's why he's in there for his pass catching ability. And when he turns and he looks with his football, it is right into the sun, and Mark Brunell puts it right on the money.
Yeah, he looked as if he was fishing for that one. So Mike Hollis comes on. This will be a long field goal try for Jacksonville from the 36, a 46-yard attempt. You see, he had a 53-yarder earlier this year. Missed only 6 times. Young guy from Idaho gets a good boot into this one. It is good. Well into the screen. And Jacksonville on the board. Hollis from 46 yards. 11:15 remaining in the first half. Denver 12, Jacksonville 3. Earlier today, Green Bay defeated San Francisco 35-14. Did not have this problem up in Wisconsin. Looking into the sun. Rain throughout that one, and that was the angle from which Mitchell tried to catch the ball from Brunell. Vaughn Hebron at the 6. 30 into the 32 goes Hebron. Denver early here in the second quarter, leading 12-3. As we remind you tonight on NBC, enter the action zone. All new NBC Saturday Thrilogy. I expect Paul to be a guest star on one of those. Dark Skies, Pretender, Profiler, the all-new NBC Thrilogy tonight on NBC.
Did you see that snake? Yeah. I wouldn't even be in the same state.
John Elway, perfect on the last Denver drive, except for the two-point try. Underneath it goes to Carswell, the tight end, across the 40, fumbled the ball, and a scramble, and well, they say Denver was down by contact. McManus and Hardy reaching for the football.
You have the defensive end with Clyde Simmons over the tight end, Phil. I mean, he's really in a catch-22. There's nothing he can do except let the tight end go, and it's supposed to be the linebacker that's picking it up. Now, the ball is loose, but he ends up, nobody's going for the ball. They don't see it because it's underneath them. He gets it back.
Oh. That was quick thinking by Carswell. Unfortunate the ball was there within his reach. First down on the play. Terrell Davis pushed back into the backfield and a flag down as they fly from all directions. 2 back in the backfield and 1 from deep downfield thrown by the back judge.
Carswell, number 89, tight end holding.
You know, we don't make the point often enough that when there is that holding call, it's often because the other player made such a good play, you had to hold him to stop him.
Holding during the run. Well, you got Clyde Simmons who's coming upfield.
10 yards, still first down.
Again, you have Clyde Simmons coming upfield, Dick, and he's going to get to the runner, and what the tight end is doing right here is just trying to save the runner. Watch this. You see Clyde Simmons, he controls the tight end, Carswell. Now he's getting ready to throw him, and he can't throw him because Carswell's got him by the waist.
So the penalty takes it back to the 32-yard line, and Elway drops back into the shotgun. Coming 4. Elway dumps it to Davis. Davis to the 35, and that's all. There's 3 Jaguars led by Eddie Robinson there to bring him down.
Phil, you know, when we talked to Jacksonville about this offensive line of Denver's. Now, they're older guys, and they're not going to like me saying that. They only have one guy in the 20s. That's a center. But they mix so well together. I mean, they are just like, what do they say? They're like a puzzle, and they just fit perfectly, all 5 of them.
Well, that's the key, and you got to give Alex Gibbs, the offensive line coach. He brings them together. He wants them to know it's important we do well as a group, and they do that.
2nd and 17, direct snap to Davis. He breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Now he has 5, 10, 13, 14. Mickey Washington finally brought him down. They had Davis stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Tony Brackens, I think number 90 was the guy that had him stopped, and he doesn't hold on. Brackens is at the end of the line of scrimmage. And I think this is him. He comes inside, bam, and he hits him. But Terrell Davis just bounces back outside. What a great run.
Brackens, number 90, nobody blocking him, does a good job, diagnoses the play, comes inside, but you see Terrell Davis' strength and then the speed to get outside and make it a positive play.
So instead of 3rd and 17, it's 3rd and 2. Elway with that hard count, throws incomplete. Anthony Miller and Travis Davis. Davis able to knock it away. And the punting team on for Denver.
Travis Davis. John Elway gets away with one that time. He is free. He's called the rover. He's up in the line of scrimmage. All he's going to do is just drop back in the middle and look for any crossing routes. Elway does not seem. Travis Davis just a little bit late breaking on the football. Should have been an interception.
On comes Tom Ruin with Chris Hudson perched at the 10. Beautiful high spiral. Lands in the end zone. Touchback for the Jaguars. 30 yards net on Ruin's punt. With a break in the action at 8-9. Mark Brunell. He and Billy Joe Holbert sharing great years at the University of Washington. As a kid, he was a better pitcher, a left-handed pitcher, coached by his dad in Santa Maria, California. Starts at the 20. Play action. Alfred Williams can't get him. This is what makes him so tough. I lost Steve Young, but he has to take the loss back at the 17-yard line.
Well, Alfred Williams told us yesterday, I cannot let Mark Brunell get outside. He does a good job. But I tell you what, again, first time you see it, he goes, oh, this guy's a little quicker and faster than I even anticipated. And Mark Brunell. But the good thing is, everybody covered down the field, didn't give up a big play.
And one thing Alfred just learned on that play there, if I'm going to be outside on Brunell, what I have to do is once I get by Pacelli, I have got to get myself under control. Otherwise, I'm not going to get a hand on this guy.
That was ruled a sack. It would go to Alvin Aldridge, who was the closest man to the play. 2nd and 14, timeout Brunell. And the crowd helping out the Denver defense there. Jump together. 79 comes into that defensive line for the Broncos. 5 sacks this year, and he's got that incredible forklift move. He's so strong. 2nd and 14, throwing the flat. And Willie Jackson, tackled after a 2-yard gain by Ray Crockett.
What a great job by Ray Crockett, because what he does is he forgets all about, goes right by the blocker on the outside. Not even concerned with him. My job is to get to the guy that's catching the ball. And Ray Crockett makes a great play.
Going to give him a good spot out to the 20, where it'll be 3rd and 10. Here it is as Jackson, whose brother Terry Jackson on the University of Florida national champions, scored a touchdown a couple nights ago. His dad, Willie Jackson Sr., was the first ever black to play at the University of Florida. Brunell under heavy trouble. It's intercepted. Torrey James at the 25, the 20, and it's whistled dead as a flag goes down, and James may have been guilty of a foul in order to pick off that ball, as Williams and Cadrez were pressuring Brunell.
They're going to call pass interference on the play. Remember one thing. I got Torrey James there. One thing, when that ball is thrown, both guys have a right to the ball. The question is, you can't impede the offensive guy's right.
Interference. Number 20 on the defense. First down.
First down. All right, Red. Here it is. Watch this. Now, there's the bumping there. They're not calling it here. Here's where they're going to call it. Watch James. He goes through. He hits him with his arm and bounces him off the ball. You don't like the call.
It's a terrible call.
All right.
I mean, you're penalizing the defensive back for being the aggressor and getting to the football before the wide receiver did.
A break for the Jaguars, it would appear. First down at the 25. Means only 2 on the play. Aldridge and Mobley there to make the stop.
Just going back to the pass interference real quick, it would only be a penalty if he stopped the wide receiver for getting to the ball. He didn't impede the progress of the wide receiver. He just reacted better to the football when it was thrown.
2nd down.
Like I said at the beginning, both guys have the right to get to it. Sorry, Dick.
Means the lone running back. McCardell, and his dad says it's not McCardell, but McCardell to the left. Smith to the right. Tight end Mitchell in motion. Here comes Romanowski, but he can't get Brunell. Now he chases after. Brunell going to run. And pushed out of bounds by Manu Tanuvasa. This young guy from Hawaii quietly had a very good year, number 98. He had 5 sacks. Grew up and played in Hawaii. First name means rock in Samoan. Is that perfect?
Yeah, that's a good name for a defensive lineman, but Brunell, again, Romanowski, free shot on him, just barely gets a hand on him. But down the field, there is nowhere to go with the football. The Broncos doing an excellent job of covering the receivers once Brunell breaks the pocket.
These guys got to understand something. So once they get back there near Brunell, they've got to slow it down a little bit. Break their rush down.
Closer to 6th and 5 for Brunell. Scrambles again. Now he throws. Means got away with a push-off at the 41-yard line, but no flag down as Romanowski was covering.
It did look like Romanowski looking back in the sun misjudged the ball, and Means did not.
I think he misjudged his jump. Either that or he thought he was Michael Jordan. He was going to hang in the air for a couple minutes. But watch Bill Romanowski just gets caught off balance, mistimes it. It was a nice touch pass by Mark Brunell. It hangs in the air, and Natron doing a good job of going up. Hey, he's got sunglasses on that shield. Made it easier for him.
Those are the only sunglasses allowed by the Jacksonville players. One of Kaufman's rules. 29 yards on the play. Brunell off play action, chased, and finally caught from behind by Harold Hasselbach, who played with Brunell at the University of Washington.
I'll tell you what I like about this team. They just don't give up, Jacksonville. I mean, they keep coming. They did it to Buffalo a week ago. Here's Tony Baselli blocking here. He looks back to the outside.
He's got Jeff Robinson, number 94, on him, and
that's a takedown.
You know, Baselli, he's one of those linemen. He's not happy just blocking you. He wants to take you down, embarrass you, all those things. And, you know, he's the perfect left tackle to have in the National Football League, because he takes pride in protecting his quarterback.
2nd and 7 as James Stewart in, and he has it on the draw. Stewart, who played at Tennessee, doesn't get much. Tackled forward to the 35-yard line by Michael Dean Perry and John Mobley.
Well, you know, the one thing, take a look at the differences of the offensive line of the Jaguars against Denver's defensive front. Paul, if I'm right, I think it's 35-pound difference.
Well, that's why you don't try to run draws against these guys, because if you give these guys a chance to run around you, they're going to get there. They're much quicker. So you've got to run directly at them.
3 wide receivers right as Brunell operates from the shotgun, and here comes Romanowski. Eludes him and guns complete. It is Willie Jackson for a first down inside the 20.
You know, I keep telling you, when you get to Brunell, you've got to break down. You've got to slow it down. Romanowski comes up the middle, not a soul near him, and all Brunell does is step aside. Watch this. Here comes Romanowski, straight up the middle. Watch what Brunell does. Boom, back to the outside.
I know, you want to break down, but I'm sure they're thinking of Paul, but this guy is quick, he's fast, and Romanowski coming straight at him. He can go either way.
I understand. I'm just saying, you've got to break yourself down and get in his face and don't let him juke you.
So the Jaguars trailing only 12-3 deep in Denver territory. Natron Means banging inside the 10-yard line, and you could hear the helmets crack on that one in the collision.
Now there's a point Tom Coughlin made to us yesterday, talking about Denver's run defense. It ranks very high, but average yards per rush, it's not so good. It's 18th in the league because they're always ahead, so teams do not have the patience to stay with the running game. So Jacksonville, they should have some success inside.
And one other thing he said to us too, he said, we could beat this team if we don't turn it over.
2nd and 3 from the 9. Means again. Steps away from a tackle, and Means will score. Natron picking up from his 175-yard effort of a week ago, gets 8 more on that, has 58 yards rushing in this opening half, and Jacksonville is back in the game.
Well, just like a passing quarterback, keep him in the pocket, the defense has to do the same thing. Stay in your lanes, be disciplined. Denver was not that time. They over-pursued, and Natron, hey, last week, this week, little patience, breaks it outside. There's nobody there.
Mike Hollis for the extra point. Barker, the punter, holds, and Hollis connects. And Denver's lead reduced to 2. And for those of you just joining us, Denver had an extra point block. Clyde Simmons blocked it and then went for 2 and failed on their second touchdown, accounting for their total 12-10 as Jacksonville Chargers set him free earlier this year. Not a place for him in the Charger camp, and picked up by Jacksonville. And Tom Coughlin said a model student and performer. Down it comes to Hebron. And Vaughn Hebron of the Broncos to the far sidelines. Following returns on the Jets. Knocked out at the 41-yard line by Mike Hollis. That last drive for Jacksonville, 80 yards in 10 plays, both their drives in 10 plays, and here was a critical call and play. Torrey James wedging his way for the ball, intercepts, not ruled an interception, ruled interference, kept the drive alive. A key play. Mike Shanahan apparently has been jawing with the officials on the sideline since. 12-10 Denver as we approach the 2-minute warning first half. This is where Elway's at his best. Almost intercepted by Aaron Beasley. That was right in his mitts as he made the move in front of McCaffrey.
Aaron Beasley sat on the play the whole time. He sees John Elway. He read Ed McCaffrey's route, and look at the break. He stumbles. Otherwise, he would have caught this in full stride. And John Elway,
he was getting ready to make the tackle.
I know that move. Throw it and run and try to make the tackle.
Beasley, the rookie from West Virginia, had just one interception in his first year in the Bigs. 2nd and 10. Elway with a second breath. Now he does a little scrambling. Clyde Simmons can't get it. Elway, first down at the 47 of Jacksonville. Eddie Robinson finally made the tackle, and Terrell Davis, a nice job with a block.
Boy, Terrell Davis really does make a nice block. He enables John Elway to pick up the first down. As Elway starts to scramble, he's looking. This thing breaks down right at the beginning. Clyde Simmons comes in. But watch Elway, and number 30 is Terrell Davis on the left of your screen. Here he comes in. He makes the block. McManus right there and enables John Elway to get the first down.
That's 3 scrambles for Elway, 30 yards to keep drives alive. Now first down, looking, and throwing long. Too long for Anthony Miller. Mickey Washington on him, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Actually 1:57 left in the half. Denver getting a scare from upstart Jacksonville. Next Saturday at 4 Eastern, tea time, the PGA Tour 97. Terrific show. Preview the 97 PGA Tour. You'll hear from Tiger Woods, Tom Lehman, Phil Mickelson, Greg Norman, and others. That's tea time, PGA Tour 97 next Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern here on NBC. Yeah, I've been teeing it up to that big guy, and he likes, like so many NFL players, to hit the fairways. Denver and Elway trailing 12-10, 2nd down at the Jacksonville 47. Elway being chased by Tony Brackens, and Brackens gets him, and Elway fortunate he didn't fumble down at the 46-yard line, a gain of a yard, so no sack. And this young man from Texas has been quite a find.
Well, when you look at Brackens, though, there's just no quit. Watch him. He's blocked at the line of scrimmage by Zimmerman there, and then he just keeps going after Elway. And look what he does. Now he goes for the ball. That's heads-up football.
No sack, a gain of 1 for Elway, so it's 3rd down and 9. When you look at Brackens in his rookie year, he's the youngest player on the field. He just turned 22. Tackles for loss, 5 forced fumbles, and you can see why, the way he went after Elway on that last charge. Timeout with 1:20 left, and the timeout taken by Jacksonville. Brackens, well, we have a moment. Most interesting young man. I like what he said yesterday. He says, my father was a rancher. They have an 800-acre ranch south of Dallas. He said, he made me work for every penny. He said, he taught me a wonderful lesson.
Well, you can see it the way he plays. He keeps hustling. He's a hard worker, and he also told us, he said, what's your greatest attribute as a player? And he just goes, speed. I don't know a whole lot right now. I just run fast and try to make things happen, and that's what he does.
Well, that's what he just did on Elway, speed. He didn't know a whole lot, got around Zimmerman and went after him.
Well, we don't know how fast, but we'll hustle to go halftime to join Greg and Chris, Mike, and Joe for the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report, so stay tuned. Elway, 3rd down, 9. Flags down, and it appeared that Brian Habib might have pulled back prematurely, and that brings a little sigh to Shanahan.
Before the snap, false start, number 75 on the offense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
You know, we talked to Elway yesterday, and he made some statements in the paper too that thought this team